Hey, everybody. Welcome to Anita's Wednesday Wisdom Highlights. Brand new time, still on Wednesdays, but at 6:15 now. I really hope that you can join me and watch more often with a better time frame. But please make a comment or put an emoji in. Let me know who's watching. I love to see who I'm talking to. So let me know. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the law of consistency. This is what we were talking about last night in the Personal Growth Power Hour and the mastermind that is kind of like a mentorship program that I run twice a month. The law of consistency says motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you going. You see, the key to being disciplined is to be consistent. That's what makes you successful, is being consistent. And to be consistent, we have to be committed. Committed means being dedicated to a cause or an activity. And being dedicated means you do it even when you don't feel like it. That's the meaning of commitment. You do it even when you don't feel like it. That's the whole motivation behind consistency, is doing it even when you don't feel like it. That's what it means to be disciplined, right? Doing it even when you don't feel like it. I want to read this excerpt that I read yesterday that really ministered to me because it's so true. I know that we can all look back to a time in our life where we made a commitment. We made a decision to make a change for the good. And it changed the trajectory of our life. I want to read this from Frederick F. Flatch. He says, most people can look back over the years and identify a time and place at which their lives changed significantly. Whether it was by accident or design, these are the moments when, because of a readiness within us and a collaboration with events occurring around us, we are forced to seriously reappraise ourselves and the conditions under which we live, and to make certain choices that will affect the rest of our lives. You know, I'd love to hear, when was a time that you made a decision, when you came to a place in your life where you either, maybe it was a traumatic experience or a tragedy. Maybe it was just that you were sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maybe it was something inside you just said, I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to make a change. And you became committed. I know for me, one of the times that happened for me was when my husband and I were going through a really hard time in our marriage. About 6 years into it, we were on the verge of a divorce, and I wanted my marriage to work. I wanted my marriage restored. And, you know, I was thinking about this because the thought was, when is a time in your life that you made a commitment, you made a decision to make a change for the better? And do you know, it dawned on me. I thought it was when I was married, at that 6-year period where we were having so much trouble, that I had made the decision that I need to do something differently. And yes, that's when I started making changes. But my decision to be committed to not get a divorce was actually made when I was 9 years old. When my mom had sat me down on the couch and told me that her and my dad were getting divorced. And I was devastated. And at that moment, I made a decision. Little did I know at 9 years old that I had made that decision, but it really was the catalyst for me to stick it out through my marriage. I made a decision way back then that I was never going to get a divorce. It wouldn't be me. The other person would have to get the divorce. But I was committed to never getting divorced. I was going to make my marriage work. So at 6 years in, when this struggle was happening, I started changing what I was doing. I started going to counseling. I started reading books on marriage. I started reading self-help books. I started going back to church, reestablished my relationship with God. I prayed a lot. And I was committed to making the changes to make my marriage work. And I was consistently, all through the rest of my marriage, looking for ways to improve so that I continue to be committed to my marriage. And thank God I did, because we've now been married for almost 38 years, right? 2 precious grown children along with their spouses, and 3 amazing grandchildren that are the joy of my life. So consistency is the key to success, but the key to consistency is commitment, discipline. And the key to the discipline and commitment is having a why, knowing what it is that you want and being committed to doing whatever it takes to get it. I hope that helps somebody today. Please make a comment. Let me know, what are you committed to? What is your why? When you know your why, it gives you the motivation to be committed and disciplined even when you don't feel like it, right? That's the key. Being committed means doing what you know you need to do even when you don't feel like it. Your why is what's going to give you that motivation. So remind yourself of the why. Next time you don't feel like doing what you know you need to do, remind yourself why you're doing it. And make sure that why is strong enough to give you the discipline to do it. If you need some help with that, I'd love to help you. Give me a shout, PM me, whatever, put a comment, and I'll get up with you. Thanks, guys.